No.
Right now, friends and family come together to remember the man killed in yesterday's shooting on Madison's Far East Side.
Plus, a new plan from President Biden to give hundreds of thousands of student loan borrowers relief.
And after more than a decade, police say they have solved one of the most notorious serial killer cases in U.S. history. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Well, we have been asking for rain, and this week has delivered for most of us. As you can see by these rainfall estimates, most of southern Wisconsin has got at least an inch of rain in the last 5 days, helping with our drought conditions.
So wet weather, funnel clouds, thunderstorms. It's been a busy week for the First Warn Weather Team, and you'll want to know if you're going to stay dry this weekend. Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us now with the First Warn forecast.
Yeah, Charlotte and Eric, I got good news. Things are drying out. Things are calming down across southern Wisconsin. We can see that right now here with our high-resolution radar. We're not seeing any reds or oranges across southern Wisconsin. That has all moved towards the south and towards the east. Good news, too, that severe thunderstorm watch that we had in effect for the far southeastern portion of our viewing area hanging on until 10 o'clock has actually live television here, folks, has been lifted for all of southeastern Wisconsin and northeastern portions of Illinois. Our friends at the Storm Prediction Center are still saying marginal risk of severe thunderstorm activity possible as we go into your Friday overnight and into the wee hours of your Saturday. Slight risk from Janesville and points off to the south and east. But I think as we head into the later part of our overnight period, the Storm Prediction Center will probably update this and clear much of the area from that severe weather potential because the atmosphere has cooled down because of the showers and storms, has kind of worked things over. So the threat for severe weather, I think, is definitely diminishing. We'll see those temperatures get down into the 60s overnight and then back into the lower 80s as we go into your Friday. Shower storm chance a little bit later on your Saturday. I like to bring in my viewer photos here. We were showing those rain totals before. Look at this, rain in a dog dish. You can measure it that way, I guess, too. Thanks, Jill in Sauk County. And I got another one here for you, folks. Rain gauge, thanks, Angela and Mazomanie. And a little bit later in Maine weather, we're going to show some other viewer photos of all that appreciable rain that we've had. We'll also be tracking the air quality alert and that plume of smoke that we can expect across southern Wisconsin over the weekend.
Alex, thank you. Tonight, the family of a man killed in a shooting on Madison's Far East Side yesterday afternoon honored his memory with a vigil and balloon release. His family is identifying him as 20-year-old Devon Grant.
Investigators believe he was shot after a dispute between two groups of people ending in gunfire. That happened shortly after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon near the intersection of Milky Way and Milwaukee Street. Grant was taken to the hospital but later pronounced dead. News 3 Now spoke with Grant's mom, Alicia, and she claims there was no fight, instead describing it as a drive-by shooting. Devon is the second child Alicia has lost this year. She says she's tired of seeing gun violence and young lives in her community.
No parent should witness their child getting killed, gunned down in the streets. No parent. We shouldn't be burying our child. Our kids should be burying us. He was 20. He was just starting to live his life.
Alicia says all she wants from the police is to find her son's killer. Anyone with information on this shooting is asked to call Madison Area Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 608-266-6014.
New information tonight about a fatal shooting from last month in downtown Madison, which left a 20-year-old man dead. A criminal complaint alleges the victim, Nicholas Taylor Washington, was targeted because of his affiliation with a rival gang. 18-year-old Julius Jones was arrested Wednesday and charged with first-degree intentional homicide. He's accused of pulling the trigger in the early morning hours of June 18th on East Dayton Street. We've also learned tonight 2 other men have been arrested and are facing charges in connection with this murder. 20-year-old Keonta Blaney and 24-year-old Nathaniel Douglas have been charged with first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime. In court today, a cash bond for each man was set at $1 million. We have more details from the criminal complaint online. Just look for the story at channel3000.com.
In Marathon County, authorities captured a wanted fugitive in a secluded hideout. Take a look at some of these photos shared of the hideout on the Marathon County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. They say the suspect 44-year-old Sean Clark was wanted on a sex offender registration violation, and an active felony warrant was out for his arrest. This hideout was in the town of Norrie, about a half hour east of Wausau. Today, the Biden administration announced hundreds of thousands of student loan borrowers will have their debt wiped away.
Our Armand Rahman caught up with some students with loans at UW-Madison to see how they feel about this loan forgiveness plan. Armand?
Yeah, guys, $39 billion in relief is anticipated after the Department of Education says they fixed past administrative failures that miscounted qualifying payments made by borrowers. Today on campus, people tell me that debt relief gives them a bit of stress relief that they could see the same.
It seems like the right moves are going to be made.
Even though school's not in session, student loans are always on people's minds. But with news that 804,000 borrowers could have their loan debt relieved.
I mean, I think it's super fantastic.
It gives us hope, for a better future.
Jason Prendergast says that hope is especially important for borrowers after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Biden's loan forgiveness program last month.
I mean, when you get that negative news, it's kind of a heart dropper. Me in my mid-30s, not having children, I know it's definitely held me back as far as family planning and just kind of how I saw myself during this stage of my life. But battling, paying debt, and excited about the news.
UW financial aid officials tell us this latest round of relief is due to undercounted payments in income-driven repayment plans. Through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, they'll be automatically recalculated and forgiven, but borrowers can opt out.
I think it would be a good precedent to set, and that does make me hopeful that, we might experience something similar when we, grow up.
I hope that it kind of shows that canceling student loan debt isn't necessarily a dangerous thing, that it's a good thing that we should do.
Jane Lazara only took out government loans, but she says she has friends who took out private ones that are seeing things a bit brighter.
I am a firm believer that education post-secondary should be free, at least in some way. So it's good to hear that not everybody is going to have to suffer through loans that they can't afford to pay.
And financial aid officials tell me direct loans, Stafford loans, and Parent Plus loans of both types will be included in this debt relief. The U.S. Department of Education will be contacting borrowers in the coming days to let them know if they're eligible.
Armand, thank you. The White House is announcing a $20 billion clean energy loan program. It will be funded by the Inflation Reduction Act and overseen by the Environmental Protection Agency. As part of the program, $14 billion will go toward a national clean investment fund competition awarded to 2 to 3 nonprofits. Those organizations will then dish out loans and credit enhancements to projects proposed by communities and local governments. The other $6 billion will go toward pushing clean energy in low-income and disadvantaged communities around the country. The U.S. House has passed a sweeping defense policy bill largely along party lines today. 4 Democrats crossed the aisle to vote with Republicans, and 4 Republicans voted against it. The bill sets the policy agenda and authorizes funding for the Department of Defense. Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy saying this legislation ends wokeism in the military.
Just focus on the military. Stop using taxpayer money to do their own wokeism. A military cannot defend themselves if you train them in woke. We don't want Disneyland to train our military. We want our men and women in the military to have every defense possible, and that's what our bill does.
It was a fight to the finish, only after contentious debate and the adoption of controversial amendments. One of them was related to abortion policy and transgender health care access. The House-passed bill now needs to be reconciled with the Democratic-controlled Senate.
The trial for the father of the accused Highland Park parade shooter will begin in November. Robert Cremo Jr. is charged with 7 counts of reckless conduct. His guilt or innocence will be decided by a judge, not a jury. His son, Robert Cremo III, faces dozens of charges for killing 7 people and wounding dozens more in a 4th of July mass shooting outside Chicago last year. The charges are based on Cremo Jr. sponsoring his son's application for a gun license back in 2019. In New York, a married Long Island architect was arrested at his home, charged with murder in the deaths of 3 of 11 victims in a long unsolved string of killings known as the Gilgo Beach murders.
Authorities had been investigating the earliest killings since 2010. Michael George reports how police were able to identify and arrest the suspect.
Rex, did you do it?
Police on Long Island arrested a suspect in the deaths of 3 women in a series of killings known as the Gilgo Beach murders. Authorities say Rex Heuermann is the suspected serial killer they've been hunting for over a decade.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us.
Investigators say Heuermann has long lived across a bay from where the women's remains were found in 2010. Several years after they vanished, their bodies, wrapped in burlap, were recovered along the side of a parkway near the ocean.
For the next 13 years, their cases went unsolved until today.
59-year-old Heuermann is accused of killing 3 sex workers, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello.
For each of the murders, he got an individual burner phone, and he used that to communicate with the victims. Then shortly after the death of the victims, he then would get rid of the burner phone.
Heuermann is also considered the prime suspect in the death of a 4th woman. The case took a recent turn when police tied Heuermann to a pickup truck seen at the time one of the victims disappeared. In March, detectives working on the case say they recovered the suspect's DNA from a pizza crust he threw away in a New York City trash can. Authorities say they matched the DNA to a hair found on a restraint used in the killings.
We're continuing to execute search warrants, and we anticipate getting more evidence.
Heuermann pleaded not guilty at his arraignment Friday, and the judge ordered him held without bail based on the heinous nature of the murders. His next court date is August 1st. Michael George, CBS News, Gilgo Beach, New York.
More stories are ahead at 10.
The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline's new 988 number turns 1-year-old this weekend. And while it's helping millions, research suggests there's still more work to be done so more people know about it. That story just ahead.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
You've got this. You didn't think your sister would take you up on the dog sitting offer, but here you are. Barriers? Purchased. Doggy distractions? No expense spared. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So when you have to make a purchase, or 7, to prepare, you can be sure we're looking out for you. So you can look out for him. You've got this with Associated Bank.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get a Ford F-150 XLT or Ford Lightning with 3.9% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 retail trade assist cash and $500 low APR cash.
Why didn't we do this last year?
Before you were preventing migraine with Qulipta? Remember the pain, canceled plans, the worry?
That was then. And look at me now. You'll never truly forget migraine, but Qulipta reduces attacks, making 0 migraine days possible. It's the only pill of its kind that blocks CGRP and is approved to prevent migraine of any frequency, to help give you that forget you get migraine feeling.
Don't take if allergic to Qulipta. Most common side effects are nausea, constipation, and sleepiness. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Qulipta, the forget you get migraine medicine.
To everyone who enjoys a feel-good meal, we're crafting one for you, Wisconsin style.
We're talking handcrafted, cooked to order.
Scoop to perfection goodness.
More like greatness.
A snuggle up in the booth, share a bite kind of meal.
A fill you up, heart and soul kind of meal.
Come treat someone you love to a meal they're sure to love.
One always served with a smile.
That comes from the heart.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We've got Scandal's Katie Blows and Guillermo Diaz.
11 years since Scandal premiered.
We're cute then, we're cute now.
Yes, you are.
Then,
Good morning.
PJ Morton performs
on the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Sunday marks the one-year anniversary of 988. That's the number anyone can dial, text, or message through a chat in order to get support through the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Well, the latest data shows more people are calling 988, more than the harder-to-remember 10-digit number previously used. The Lifeline has been impacted by a national shortage of mental health professionals.
The numbers we saw in this last year were much higher than we were anticipating. So before the launch of 988, we were told by our federal partners that we would receive about 55,000 calls. And for example, only 2,000 texts within the first year. And so that is what we were preparing for. And those numbers were blown out of the water. So that's amazing. And we're incredibly happy and feel really excited that people are getting the help that they need.
Well, the National 988 Lifeline has gotten millions of calls the past year. A survey by the Pew Charitable Trust released in May suggests many people still haven't even heard of 988. Of the more than 5,000 U.S. adults surveyed, only about 13% reported being aware of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
The World Health Organization says the long-used artificial sweetener aspartame found in many foods and drinks could cause cancer. Aside from diet sodas and low-calorie foods, the artificial sweetener is in roughly 6,000 products worldwide, according to the Calorie Control Council. Now, a semi-independent committee within the WHO says aspartame should be deemed, quote, possibly carcinogenic to humans. But there's a caveat. The WHO says the evidence was, quote, limited. So at least for now, health officials recommend moderation.
A nonprofit is giving those with physical and cognitive limitations a chance to water ski, partnering with the Mad City ski team. Graceful Wakes put on an adaptive water skiing clinic using a specially designed ski that participants can sit in. The ski can also hold onto the rope if the person skiing is unable to do so. Today, more than 24 people participated.
But as soon as they get on top of that water and feel the wind like blowing through their hair and like the water splashing in their face, like just a smile like spreads across their face and their eyes light up, and seeing that transformation has been really memorable for me.
There are also tubing rides, pontoon boat rides throughout the day, making an unforgettable experience for everyone.
Middleton VFW Post 8216's Tee It Up for the Troops golf outing returned today. The tournament started in 2005 to raise money to support community projects assisting veterans and their families. Post 8216 is named after William Sonny Simon, who was killed in action during World War II. His remains were identified by the Department of Defense last December, and in March, they were finally returned to his family in Middleton to be buried. TV and movie actors hit the picket line today after their union decided to join the Writers Guild and go on strike.
Both unions are demanding the same thing, a better deal from the Hollywood studios. This is the first time since 1960 both unions were on strike at the same time, shutting down the industry. The union's main sticking points include limiting how artificial intelligence can be used, along with pay and residuals from streaming services.
There's a lot of people, even beyond our membership, who are kind of fed up with big corporations trying to just run roughshod over everybody and not treating people fairly. And this is a perfect example of that.
Now, the studios say the walkout comes at the worst possible time for an industry facing many challenges. The actors' strike also means promotions on completed projects have come to a halt.
Baby Madison Mendoza of Colorado is the new 2023
Isn't that your
Gerber
baby?
I know, isn't she cute? She's the winner of the 13th annual photo search contest. She's almost 10 months old. The company said Mendoza has a joyful spirit and captivating expressions. Maddie will be featured on Gerber's social media channels and marketing campaigns throughout the year. Her family gets a $25,000 prize, free Gerber products for up to 1 year, and new clothes provided by Gerber Children's Wear. And I have to say, every Filipino baby girl has that bow at the top of their head.
That's baby Charlotte.
I'm not kidding you. All right, so as we head into the weekend, the question is, will the weather have us smiling like Maddie?
I think so. Yeah, a little bit of sun. We will have some of those hazy skies, though, as well with that air quality advisory. But the sun will be out. We'll have some shower and storm chances, but also some sun, too. So a little bit of everything.
All
so
right.
smiles, I think, for most.
Okay, good.
And that's the 3 things you need to know, too. So we'll take a look at that right now. All right. Storms are moving out. So there's smiles there, Charlotte. Storms moving off towards the south and towards the east. We did have a couple of rough thunderstorms a little bit earlier tonight near the Baraboo area. As we go into Saturday and Sunday, it will be sunny, but as I mentioned, hazy conditions. We're going to track a plume of smoke here in just a couple of moments. Another Canadian wildfire smoke plume will be heading towards southern Wisconsin, and some scattered shower and thunderstorm chances Most places will stay dry. Some places will get wet. As we were showing earlier in the broadcast, just look at these totals here over the course of the past 5 days. Some places upwards of 3-4 inches. A large part of southern Wisconsin got at least an inch of rain, although I can't just, I have to point out here towards the south and towards the east of Janesville, there were a couple spots that didn't quite get as much of that rainfall. So again, we take all the water that we can get. That rain that we had was appreciable. Thanks, Anita, for sending us here from Lone Rock. I love to bring in my viewer photos. Jennifer from North Madison showing those rain gauges filling on up. It was that slow, steady rain, which gets into the soil, percolates down, which is great. It's a drought-denting rain, not really a drought-busting rain, but we'll take all the rain that we can get. Kind of a dramatic photo here. Thanks, Marnie from Spring Green. This is 1 year ago today. This is today, right now. Just look at the difference 1 year makes when we have this extreme drought conditions across southern Wisconsin. Of course, you can send us those weather photos. Easy way to do it is the First Warn weather app or First Warn at WISC-TV.com. If you're loading up the app, there's a little phone icon in the lower right. You just submit your photo that way, and we'll see if we can get those photos on air. Now back to those showers and thunderstorms. We can track those storms here with our future track model. Showed a possible little shower or storm over Grant County around the midnight hour, but fizzling out. The atmosphere is worked over that I was saying earlier in the broadcast. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s. When you cool down, you don't have that fuel for showers and thunderstorms. As we carry on through the rest of your Saturday, warming on up, most places, as I said, will stay dry, so there's smiles again if you want that sunny, dry weather. Although, again, we could take all those drops that we can get, and there will be more rain chances in the 10-day forecast. Mention air quality advisory for that wildfire smoke through noon on Sunday. If you're susceptible with lung conditions, asthma, you might want to consider staying inside a little bit more over the weekend. Let's track that here. Look at this smoke plume moving from northwest to southeast, right across southern Wisconsin, right around 3-4 o'clock. So you will likely see those hazy conditions as we build into your Saturday. Probably some of those vivid sunsets and sunrises again on your Sunday as yet another reinforcing plume moves into southern Wisconsin on Sunday. But good news is I think that smoke will clear on out as we head towards that Monday, Tuesday time frame. Dry out a little bit and then smiles again. If you want the water, the shower and thunderstorm activity, if you're a farmer or gardener, got that chance coming back in here Wednesday. Going into Thursday, we'll need it because we're going to dry out after that. Zach?
Yeah, the Brew Crew are back from the All-Star break and franchise history was made tonight. That's up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
When an appliance you rely on goes kaput, you can count on family-owned Brothers Maine, Southern Wisconsin's local appliance authority since 1938. With thousands of in-stock options, we have the brands you want at the lowest prices guaranteed. Even big box can't beat our prices. Our experienced team of appliance experts will help you make the right selection, and we deliver it fast and free to your home. What you need when you need it. Shop appliances you can bring home today at our Madison and Janesville showrooms. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISVRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
We need to talk about Sonobello.
We are getting rid of all of this
all of this today.
Ladies, this summer you can cover up or feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello One Visit Permanent Fat Removal.
Look at this shape. My tummy is gone and my hourglass shape is back.
Wherever there's excess fat, we can remove it. That's what we do all day, every day.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I could actually wear a two-piece after 25 years.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Now, with our Best Body Summer event, you can schedule your free, no-obligation consultation, plus save $250 off instantly. That's $250 off your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more. Call 1-888-634-9939 or go to sonobello.com.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota, let's go places.
After a 4-day break, the Brewers were back at it for a huge series in the NL Central. The Crew trailed the Reds by just one game in the standings, and one win goes a long ways to securing a season series win. Corbin Burnes starts the second half off for the Brewers, and he was in Cy Young form. Burnes went 6 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits, while fanning 13 batters. That ties for the second most in an MLB game this season. Then in the 7th inning, the Crew broke free. Victor Caratini bloops one into the outfield to bring home Willie Adames for the game's make that winning run. Brewers win at 1-0. First back-to-back 1-0 wins in franchise history for the Crew. Staying on the diamond were the Mallard slugger. Owen Jackson had a career night last night. First, he was named a Northwoods League All-Star, and then the Mallards DH went off in the batter's box. He blasted 3 home runs, literally putting the team on his back with a 5 RBI performance, all against his former team to lead Madison back to first place in the Great Lakes West. When you think of Wisconsin, you think of the running back tradition, mainly Dane, Gordon, Ball, White, now Allen. Today, Luke Fickell added another name to running back university. His name is Dylan Jones, and he has 4 stars to his game. The Maryland native is the 9th ranked running back in the nation and is the Badgers' top commit of the 2024 class. He chose Wisconsin over Auburn, South Carolina, and Michigan, among other Power 5 schools. Former Badger Chris Orr re-signed with the USFL's Jackson Generals today. The linebacker who played in the NFL in 2020 made the USFL's all-defensive team last season. Steve Stricker didn't become one of the world's best 2 players until his 40s, so it shouldn't surprise you that he just keeps getting better with age. You know about his success on the Champions Tour this season. 4 wins, 2 majors, and not 1 finish outside the top 8. And after the first round of the Colleague Companies Championship, he was sitting pretty. Then the second round happened, and Stricker struggled. He carried 4 bogeys today and 1 birdie over the final 3. Stricker heads into the weekend 2 under with 5 shots back. Jerry Kelly right under him at 1 under. On the ice, Brock Caulfield is heading north next season. The former Badger signed a 1-year deal with the Toronto Marlies, an affiliate of the Maple Leafs, and will skate in the American Hockey League during his 5 seasons in Madison. Caulfield scored 33 goals and tallied 41 assists to help the Badgers win a Big Ten championship in 2021. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Lean back and enjoy the summer savings at the Century House. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. The more you spend, the more you can save instantly. So furnish an entire room with the most comfortable seating in the world and watch the savings add up. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Now through July 19th, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. With over 2,400 locations worldwide and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. Whether you're a newbie or a gym pro, you belong in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, July 19th. That's how we do.
Hey, stop. Found it. Can I get a ruling?
Don't beg. Sunday coming.
Is that good? I can't tell.
There's no such thing as out of bounds. Find adventure at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get special offers on the 2024 NX250.
I suffer with psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. I was on a journey for a really long time to find some relief. Cosentyx works for me.
Cosentyx helps real people get real relief from the symptoms of psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen.
I move so much better because of Cosentyx.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Get 11% off your outdoor projects at Menards. We have the best quality and largest selection of pressure-treated lumber and decking in the Midwest. Right now, an 8-foot pressure-treated 1x4 is only $389 after rebate. Suncast storage sheds are perfect for storing outdoor tools and equipment. This 7x7 low-maintenance Cloverdale resin storage shed includes a reinforced steel roof for all-season protection. Get it today for $749.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
Well, we go to Alex. One final check of the forecast.
Yeah, a little earlier tonight, a couple of rumblers getting a little rough, but things have cleared out. Pretty quiet. I think the rest of the night's going to be quiet too, so that's good news. We're talking smiles earlier, so there's smiles for everyone. I got to do a shout out here to our folks who are sending us our viewer photos. You know, I think you're part of the First Warn Weather team too when you send us these photos by the First Warn Weather app. Because
that looks like Canalte's lawn on the right. It looks just like that.
But folks are probably going to have to start mowing their lawns because we've had that appreciable rain, folks, and we do have more rain in the forecast in the next 10 days here. So send us those photos. Want to see things greening up and those rain chances again this weekend and then the middle of next week again.
All right, Alex, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.